Hello, 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 good morning, and welcome. You are on the mountain with Rick, and it is time for some Splinterlands. But first, coffee. Tasty, tasty. How y'all doing out there in Twitchland today? Let's go ahead and get this chat pulled up. It's your boy Rick, covering for No Empathy once again. But I was also very glad to hear that he is feeling a lot better and should be taking over his own slot again come Thursday. Not that I mind being here, of course, I love it, but we miss him, I miss him, I'm sure y'all miss him as well. So glad to hear that he's doing much, much better.
But we miss him,
Wow.
I miss him.
We got 24 already. Fantastic, that's dope. Alrighty, let's get into it. And unfortunately, I've already seen what is on this site. But, it passed. It passed. So, we'll see. Give it some time and see if things played out the way that I expected them to. Because it's definitely not... at least I feel this is not the best direction for the game to be going. But obviously, you know, my vote has been outweighed, so it is what it is. We shall see how it goes in the long run. I don't think it's going to be for the best, but guess I should have had some more SPS. I mean, we were pretty close. Interview was great, Eternal Paw. Thank you for asking. Not well enough that like I got a guaranteed spot or anything like that. It's a big company. They've got a fairly long hiring process, so and I'm not the only one that they're looking at. I'm sure I'm also not the only one that did a good job in the interview, but I'm very confident that something will be worked out in the near future. So hopefully I'll be coming on with some good news relatively soon. But as for right now, I'm feeling good about it. I'm happy with the way things turned out and whatnot. It's a sales executive for Odyssey. Odyssey is kind of like iHeartRadio. They've got 3 of the major local radio stations, but they're also nationwide. And so it'd basically be like doing advertising sales and stuff like that. And there's a whole lot of different kind of facets to that, but that's basically the kind of broad scope of the job. So very much excited, very much hoping that actually comes through, and that we can get to work on that. Let's check the liquidity pool. Haven't claimed here in a little while. Not that there's very much there, but... yeah, and that's exactly what I need, man. I'm not interested in getting back into restaurants. I hated that line of work, so it would definitely be nice. It's not like I don't have any experience in the area either. There would be a lot to learn and a lot of new experience to kind of get under my belt, but I have done a lot of different kinds of sales before. I've done telemarketing, I've done door-to-door, I've done inbound and outbound calling. So I'm familiar with the process. I also know that I can handle the rejection of, getting 10, 15 no's before you get one yes and whatnot. And I'm looking forward to learning to apply that same skill set to kind of a new atmosphere, as it were. Because like the radio side of things, obviously, obviously would be something new for me, and so there would be a lot to learn with how everything relates on that. But the basic skill set I've already got, and so it's more putting a refined touch on it. And I feel like that's something that not only would I like to learn, and I feel like I'd still be pretty good at, but it would also be something that would help me out with like growing my channels and whatnot. So I feel like that there's definitely some strength and some alignment there, and like I said, I know I'm not the only person in consideration, but I feel like I made a strong impression, and hopefully before too long we'll have something definitively positive to report. Yeah, restaurants are the worst. I mean, they're great as a customer, but working them... okay, yeah, we are good here. Mute that. All right, we don't need that. We need that. Okay. And let's see. Looks like DEC is actually down a little bit today, which is kind of surprising. I figured that on the heels of this news, we would actually be looking at a little bit of a pump. Let's see, vouchers as well. It also looks like Splex is down at the moment, so. Boom, doom, 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 doom. Yep, Splex is still down. Yep. I'm gonna like it even though I don't like the content because I still like the fact that we're posting Splinterlands, but yeah, this is I am a little upset about the. Wow, this guy got 2 legendaries out of 8 chests. I had to open 80 chests to get 2 legendaries. That's just nuts. That's crazy. Wow. That's insane. 8 chests and 2 legendaries. TNA Legion 10 taking number 1. Way to go, way to go. Both, Eternal Paw. When I sold all my cards the first time, like I did get a significant amount of SPS with the proceeds from that sale. That's where a lot of it came from. The first, like, I want to say like 1,000. Actually, no. I want to say like 800 that I got from the airdrop and whatnot. And then I bought 200 early on to get up to 1,000 because that was my goal early on. And then as time went along, I did turn in more. This is not hashtag Splinterlands stuff. Why are you showing it to me when I search for hashtag Splinterlands? I don't know. Anyways. Yeah, so I did buy some of it. Some of it's from winning. Some of it is from the airdrop. And I've just been building it up over time. The only time I unstaked any was for the Rift Watchers pre-sale. And I regret that. I did get 50 packs of Rift Watchers, which was supposed to be during the pre-sale. But I didn't get my ushers. So... because of that whole fiasco. So, I would be a lot better off if I hadn't bought those packs. But it is what it is. So, I'm just excited. I should have some DEC arriving before too long, and some of these cards on Peak Monsters are, well, not just on Peak Monsters, obviously. Some of these cards in the game on the market are just ridiculously cheap, but unstaking and putting into the LP, why, may I ask? I mean, I can understand because there's, you get a better return on the LP, but staking gives you the voting power and also gives you... No, I was not. Unfortunately, I've got that, Got 2 days and 19 hours before the Hive back dollars actually convert into Hive, and I was not able to get the gift card to work. So just about the APR, I understand that. And that's not a terrible idea either. I mean, it does give you a better return, so that's undeniable. Which one are you looking at? And are you going to be selling half of the SPS into the partner, or are you just going to match it with whatever else you have? Because, like, I do the voucher swap hive. That's what I do with all of my vouchers, is they go into voucher swap hive until I need to use them or sell them. I do try and put some SPS in versus swap hive, and I like to do SPS versus DEC as well. I really don't mess with any of these guys up here, but and see, I don't sell my SPS for it. I pair it with whatever else I already have, if that makes sense. Like right now, let's actually go B swap. We can go into the Splinterlands wallet. Go ahead and pull this SPS, which is not very much, I know, but SPS to DEC is the only one you use. I really like the Swap Hive voucher just because that doesn't require SPS going in, and it gives SPS without putting in SPS. So that might be one to consider for you as well. Swap Hive voucher is actually my favorite of all of the liquidity pools for that reason, because it pays out SPS on something that the SPS is earning me, and it doesn't require any SPS going in. Plus, it's really the only use for vouchers right now. Like, until DECB happens, blah, blah, blah. But I stay putting in SPS or Swap Hive voucher, and then Swap Hive SPS I also find to be pretty worthwhile. Oh, actually, no, I don't want to do that. I need to do SPS to PKM, and I need to swap it instead of... How do you get Swap Hive? Swap Hive is kind of the token of Hive. I earn it from a few different ways. Mostly, like, I do some sales on other games and whatnot, but anything on Hive will transfer into Hive. So, or well, swap Hive. And then, like, if you onboard fiat through most other exchanges, it'll actually come in as Hive, and then you'll have to convert the Hive into swap Hive. So there's a... like, Hive is not the Hive exchange. Hive is actually on the blockchain, and then Hive engine is where you use the swap Hive. But like anything here that I have that I would be selling, I could sell it into swap Hive or into each other, with some exceptions. Like right now, one of the coins that I need to acquire some more of is PKM. So I'm actually going to do swap Hive into SPS, because the only thing PKM pairs with is... actually, I need... Switch account. Switch account to the correct account. Profile. I need to activate my PKM premium again. 747. Okay. Yeah, I might as well just max it out. Say forget about it. Get some extra SPS. You've earned 3 vouchers since their inception. That's crazy. Yeah, I definitely, like, that's another reason why I would keep it in the SPS staking personally. Like, maybe take some out, but I would not unstake all of it if I were you. Of course, you're going to have to wait a month anyway, so you'll have plenty of time to chew it over. But yeah, between SPS and also, you know, right now, earning those vouchers is going to be better than usual because that price is about to go up. You know, when this DEC burn goes live, I would expect vouchers to jump up to at least 15 to 17 cents. Not financial advice, just, you know, what I expect to see happen. Because they'll be trading into DECB at a par value of 20 cents. So I definitely don't expect it to go above 19. Or there's no discount, effectively. But I would definitely not be surprised to see it crest 15 to 17 cents. And of course, there's also the fact that, you know, with DECB, or with DEC being as low as it is, actually, maybe we should calculate that real quick. Let's go ahead and do another sheet here. Boom. And you know how we start things off. Make it black, make the text white, because we don't like day mode. And unfortunately, there isn't an actual night mode for, you know, the screen around it. I wish. Google, add night mode. Alright, so we got DEC price, voucher price, DEC B, exchange, wow, that's great spelling there. You see that? EXHCNAGE. Like, I didn't get any of that right. Alright, I need a good place to find a price for vouchers since Splex is down and honestly is only 2 digits, or 1 digit after the penny. Anyways, so, Splinter Cards maybe? No, that's... No. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, we can do Hive here. And we might as well get all of our numbers from the same place just to make things consistent. Wait, no, that was DEC Hive. Okay. Okay, no, none of you are... I don't like that at all. Okay. SPS2 DEC. SPS to Hive. Voucher to DEC. Voucher to SPS. Voucher to Hive. Yeah, that's not right either. Actual Hive price. Yeah, this one's going to take a little bit more work, but... DEC to voucher isn't something here? Yeah, it is. Okay. Alright, this one and this one are fixed. These ones are the actual prices. And then everything else needs to be actually done by equation. Equals. Pretty much. I mean, I'm not at Neil's level with it yet, but and nor am I actually saying that I ever will be. But yeah, I really enjoy my spreadsheets. I was just watching your Deck B plan, and my plan was rail against it and hope it fails, and unfortunately that didn't work out for me. It's terrible for the game, and I am not happy that it passed. We'll see how it plays out in the long run, but and the reason being, is this right here. Like, well, I guess you are probably a little less familiar with my stuff than I think I am with yours, but I mean, I've been messing around with spreadsheets for a while. I've liked them and whatnot. I've been using them to track progress and things like that. But the first time I've really used one to do a deep dive on the tokenomics of something. Okay. Well, yeah, that was actually from a Splinterlands TV session last night. Yesterday I was on 3 times. It was pretty fun. I enjoyed that immensely. But yeah, so you've already seen the walkthrough on this sheet then, and you understand where I'm coming from on it. Because it's not going to do the job that it was intended to do. It's not nearly enough of a DEC burn to actually get us anywhere close to par value. And all it is a pure and simple inflation mechanic. Because it's, you know, when we finally get around to burning DEC for real, which is what we need to do, then it's just that much more crap that has to be done before we start burning DEC. Explain it one more time for the people in the back. I don't really feel like harping on it now. The vote's already passed. It's over with. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, it's too late. It is too late. And my real fear though is that this is not it, because they not only did they leave the door open, they left the door wide open. In fact, they knocked the door out of the wall and just left a hole there. To, like, it's not even a door. It's now just a gaping maw for more of this inflation to come. And it's terrible. That is the worst part of it. Like, even aside from the whole thing that I put forth about how, you know, if enough whales banded together, they could just force something through that would be truly terrible. Even aside from that, like, just the fact that the door is gone. Like, there is going to continue to be rampant inflation in DEC. And, you know, people that are talking about, wait, what the heck happened here? I don't know how my numbers got messed up on that. That is B38 to L87. Oh no, that's why. That's why. Because G38, that's why. Like, this Kool-Aid man ran through the wall. Well played, Eternal, well played. Like, this whole conversation around, oh, we need to end the leaderboard payouts, that's $7 million per season. Not even. That is, you know, less than 0.25% per month. This is not the problem. This is a problem. Like, and the same people that are championing this are also decrying this, and it's like, you can't be on both sides of that fence. You can't be crying about making 7 million DEC and yet at the same time in favor of creating 400 million DEC. Like, it's just ridiculous. Or, you know, the burning reward cards. Like, this is not actually a problem. You burn a max level Oceanus, you get 52,500, max level gold Oceanus, you get 52,500 DEC out of it. You know what? I'm perfectly fine with that. You go ahead and burn your max level gold Oceanus. I don't care. Like, this is not a significant factor of inflation. This is not a significant factor of inflation. This is a significant factor of inflation. And it's not going to be 400,000, because that would be if nobody burned any DE or any vouchers at all. If it was just straight up DEC, we know that's not going to happen. We also know this one's not going to happen. We're not going to burn every single voucher that we have. It's going to be something closer to this. But even this is still an increase of 1 billion DEC almost. 962,153,059. And that's at yesterday's, you know, voucher count. Like, it's just, this is terrible. And I'm upset that, you know, more people voted for it without actually doing a deep dive into what it was and where it came from and how it's actually going to work. Like, so people are so proud of it that, oh, it passed. It's like, yeah, that's because people aren't doing their research. This is not good for the game. This is definitely a step in the wrong direction. But aside from that, how are you doing? Oh yeah, it's absolutely whale food. 110% it's whale food. It came from the whales. You know, I'm glad that the community actually was able to interject that no, this, if it's gonna happen, it has to be soulbound. Like, That is one of the huge negative parts of the original proposal that did get changed, and I'm glad that we at least had that much say in it. Because the fact that it's not soulbound means it's not going to outright kill the game. Or the fact that it is soulbound, it's not going to outright kill the game. But it's still not good. Like, that's taking one of the 5 significant negative portions of the idea and putting a band-aid on it. It's still not good. It's not good for the average player. It's not good for the game. And, I mean, yeah, am I going to take advantage of it? Yeah. Am I going to be able to take much advantage of it? No, I don't have much DEC and I don't have much vouchers. I will probably turn in my vouchers and get what DECB I can out of them. I'm probably not going to do my DEC because, well, I still need to, rebuild my collection from putting it all into SPS and whatnot. Which, maybe I should have done more. Maybe, I mean, with the vote as close as it was, I feel like, if I'd had a few $100s more worth of SPS, my vote would have mattered if a few other people. But then again, I mean, I know Aggie voted for it, and he probably, didn't vote with as much as he had. So, and that's one of the things about this SPS governance is it really doesn't matter what the majority of the community thinks because, that top 20% is still going to decide everything. And Paul, I mean, I don't disagree with that. Like, this could be replaced. And it wouldn't, like, I'm not arguing against it being replaced. I'm just saying that this is not the problem. Like, 7 million per season is not the problem. It could be changed and it would be better off for being changed. I would support something to change this to PAX or whatever. Like, I don't know the answer for it. I think PAX would do just fine. Although it does have its own kind of problems because, like, these guys are paid out 2,000 DEC. That's not quite a pack, but I mean, I wouldn't even care if that was up to a Chaos Legion pack. That was up to 2 and whatnot. And, that would also, save some packs from being burned, whatnot. There's, it has its own set of problems moving forward, but I think that that's something that, would be relatively easy to deal with as those come up. And so, yeah, I get that, and it's all good. But this is not, it's not as big of an issue as a lot of people are making it out to be. I mean, it's literally less than 0.25% per month. Even for this to reach this, how long would that take, actually? It would take 58 seasons. 58 seasons for leaderboard payouts to even come close to the 400 million that is the increased supply from the best case scenario of the DEC burn. That's insane. I mean, that's more than 2 years. Wow. I can't believe I actually never put it that way. This is more than 2 years worth of inflation at the current rate. Best case scenario. Well, I guess technically best case scenario is it doesn't sell out, but we know that's not going to happen either. If it were to actually be put into the game tomorrow, I'm confident that it would be sold out by the 15th. And we would probably have another proposal to create more by the end of the month. But yeah, burning cards for DEC I'm fine with. Burning SPS for DEC I'm fine with. And even the leaderboard payout, like, out of everything, this is the one that I would change first. But even that I'm fine with. Um, that's who knows, man. That's one of those things that they haven't given us any kind of roadmap for. Like, I would love to see it, and that would be, another way that we can start burning DEC, burning vouchers, whatever they choose to price it in, even burning SPS, even if it was some combination of the three. Like, it takes, 100 SPS, 1,000 DEC, and a voucher to submit a proposal. Well, there you go. We're starting to work on all three problems all at once, and I'm in favor of it. But yeah, it's as far as when, I wish I could tell you, bro. That's something that I'm not even going to hazard a guess on, because it's such a crapshoot that we'll know when it happens and not before. And I still believe that it's coming, but is it going to come in time to actually make any kind of relevant difference? Well, we'll see. But also, like, I'm not entirely sure that I want to see that either, because, I mean, look at this one. Like, the community is not exactly the most intelligent and best sources for for that governance. Like, we're already not exactly doing the best job of guiding this thing in the correct direction. Honestly, like, I would like to see proposals that have, like, votes on, rather than just, okay, blah, here's the whole thing, vote on it. I mean, there needs to be a way to fine tune things through the voting process. That is what is missing. Because, like I said, like with the whole DECB thing, I support the idea behind it. I understand where it's coming from. It's the specifics are what is completely jacked up. So the idea behind it is sound. If we, make DEC have lower circulation, then it will have better price action, so we can, but there are other ways to get there that don't involve creating another token, hiding tokenomics, smoke and mirrors to make things look better than they actually are. Like, there are better ways to do this that could have, I mean, I came up with a solution for it. Hewitt came up with a solution for it. Like, there are other proposals that do the same thing that don't have the downsides that this one does. I'm so thankful for Weirdbeard. Weirdbeard, in all honesty, if it weren't for Weirdbeard, I might have lost faith in this team. Like, Weirdbeard is the shining light on the team right now, in my opinion. He's the only person who actually cares what the community thinks. He seems to be, at least. I mean, I can't say what people actually think, what people actually feel, what people actually care about, but he's the only one that I can see actually caring about the community as individuals, as people, like, actually feeling things out and trying to figure out what is best for the community. It seems like, Matt Nagy, they tend to care about the Mavs as a community, but not about the community as a community. They care about the community only as a means to the bottom line. Like, they understand that without a community, the game does not exist. And that's about it. They don't actually seem to care about the community as a whole, because there are so many proposals and so many things that they're doing that are just counter to the community and are just in favor of the whales. And I understand that, without the whales, there is also no game. Somebody has to be paying the bills, and I know it's not me. But still, without minnows, there's nobody to feed the whales either. Like, and all of this type of stuff, it's just, directly feeding the whales, that it hurts the game overall. I'm with you on that, Axler. Absolutely. Like, that is something that I proposed forever ago. Like, change the 2.5%, or change the 5% fee to, and then it's adjustable to, you can drop your fee and then it's just not listed on Splinterlands, whatnot. Just add in 1% gets burned. Even like every transaction, just burn a little bit of DEC. That is a step in the right direction, and that is exactly how land needs to work in order for any of it to even, make a difference. Like, that's what we need to be doing. The only way that we get to where we need to be is if DEC is burned on a continuous and automatic basis. And this is not that. This is purely and simply an inflation mechanic. But yeah, burn a little bit of DEC on every transaction. Doesn't need to be 1%, could be 1.5%, could be half of the fee or whatever. Like, the numbers can be adjustable there, and then that will just change efficacy. But with it being zero, that's how we have the problem that we do. There's been so long where there's just been DEC being made and no use for it, no way to get rid of it, because even if we're spending it, like, that's not getting rid of any, it's just changing hands. If I buy a pack, there's no DEC burned, it just goes to Splinterlands. If I buy a card, there's no DEC burned, it just goes to whoever I bought the card from. Same thing with rentals, everything like that. It is just more and more circulation, but there's no actual decrease to the supply. The only way that we get to and maintain PEG is through a prolonged and consistent burn. It's not going to come through shock value tactics like this. It's not going to come through smoke and mirrors and creating another token to kind of take the heat off of DEC. That's not it. We need a prolonged and consistent burn. That's the only way that we get here. That's the only way that we stay there. And I mean, also, you can see the math here. In order to get to a par value of $1 for 1,000 DEC, with current demand, we'd have to be down to 3.717 billion DEC. That's like an insane reduction from where we're at. That's 2.5 billion plus. That's, well, let's just do the math. That's 59%. No, that's 41%. 41% of what we're currently at needs to be burned. And this DECB is not going to do it, but that's why, as soon as it sells out, there's going to be another proposal to do it again, because this is only going to get us halfway to PEG in best case scenario. And even at that point, they're going to want to do another one. And it's just going to add more fuel onto the fire, because it's going to be another inflation. And it's not going to help. It's not going to get us to where we need to be, because it's just inflation. It's smoke and mirrors, and it's basically lies. It is making the tokenomics look better than they are. Yeah, we have to burn 40.54%. That's not. I mean, that's not insignificant. Not at all. And this is not going to get us there. Even if we did another one, still not going to get us there. I mean, best case scenario, they would. If there was another one that did not include vouchers, it'd get us close, but it's still not going to get us to where we need to be. And that's what I'm getting at. Like, this is not a solution. This is actually a further problem. And yeah, like, we've already got marketplace fees, so it would have been so much simpler to just add that on rather than, you know, make a whole nother token and figure out tokenomics for it and how it's going to work. This is... I'm not saying that I'm losing faith in the game or that I'm leaving or anything, but this is a step towards that because I don't like it. Not one bit. But I'm still here for the long run, so we'll just see, you know, if I decide to continue to put anything in. I'm currently debating on that. Of course, I haven't been for the last little bit because I haven't had anything to put in. But, no, I'm not actually selling off SPS. I just bought SPS with Hive so that I could get some PKM because I need to re-up my PKM premium so that my auto rentals can work. By the way, have you guys, because Tails and Axler, I know you guys got extra cards and whatnot. What are you guys doing with them? Are you guys Splex renting? Are you renting by hand? Are you just kind of sitting on them? Are you PKM renting? Are you Nifty guides? Or Nifty decks? Like, what do you guys do with your extra cards? And also, do either of you have a full diamond or at least gold level set of Chaos Legion and or Rift Watchers? You rent by hand? Wow. I cannot imagine renting by hand. Like, before I discovered Splex, all my extra cards were just idle. I didn't rent them at all. You use both Splex and PKM? Nice. I kind of quit with Splex. I use Splex mostly just to do the fast sweep option and because I like how they've got all of the prices in one place and whatnot. Yeah, and Axler, I also have a separate rent out account. That's actually what I'm doing right now is sending over my PKM to my rental account. Yeah, I get you. That's not nothing. The rental bots, you know, they do have that cancellation thing. I'm not super aggressive with that. Like, I don't care for the cancellation thing and whatnot. I just want to, you know, automatically update my prices whenever things come off of rentals. I don't really love that it cancels and whatnot. Quick wins again, yes. Okay. But I do love how I like Peak Monsters better than Splex because, or Peak Monsters Premium with the auto rental system better than Splex because it does allow me finer control over my pricings. You know, Splex is just kind of, they set whatever the price they want to, and that's it. No, in order to be whitelisted for the PKM auto rentals currently, you have to be premium. And you have to be manually added in. So, like, it's not a service that is available to everybody. And, I mean, the rentals are free, of course. But the auto rental is a premium feature currently. But what I like is that I can go in here and every single card that is not delegated, I can just pull this up and then we'll go for rent. No. First well, actually no, we'll change price on these guys first. So everything that is currently owned and on the market but not rented, I can come in and change price. See if there's any other red. No, okay. Oh, okay. Well, I knew that was happening in the future. I just didn't know it was happening now. So if that is the case, then well, crap. I just wasted some money that I could have put into staked SPS or put into the liquidity pools. But either way, I don't actually mind supporting Peak Monsters. This is the best tool in all of Splinterlands, in my opinion. And, you know, it took me a while to really appreciate it for what it is. There was why is Time Meddler not properly pricing? Fine, I'll do it live. Because I'm not going to say what he actually said, because I am on Splinterlands TV. Oh, by the way, Axler, Crypt, if either of you guys want to, we got another hour still. I am in the roundtable voice chat in my Discord. I will post the link in the chat if either of y'all want to join and talk. Pa, that's also open to you. Oh, yeah, no, I'm not saying that, you know, there's no other good tools. There's a plethora of wonderful and amazing tools. I just think that, you know, Peak Monsters is top of the heap. At least for what Peak Monsters does. And, like, Axler's tools, I love, you know, the toolbar. I love the card frames and whatnot. The giveaway tools is cool. Fair enough. You should still go and join the Discord real quick, so that way you're there. Do I really want to hop in a fray? Let's go with a non-gold foil one. Yeah, we'll do that. All right, fair enough, fair enough. It's just, you know, as much as I've been on Splinterlands TV lately, and then not having a deck, like, it was fairly easy over the last week talking about the proposal and whatnot, but now that that's passed, I feel like I'm I'm a little bit running out of steam because I can't do gameplay because I don't have cards. But that's something that we're also working on. Starting to try to build things back up. I'm going to continue to at least use whatever I get in game, pick up some more cards. I want to get back up to playing, at least rebuild my gold deck, and then we're actually picked up our second ever gold foil legendary. The first time I've opened one, and it was not for wasn't my card, unfortunately. Like I was opening a bunch of packs for Damore because he had a bunch of packs and no potions, and I had a bunch of potions and no packs, so I was helping him out. And I was like, the only thing that I care about is when you get, or because I know it's going to happen. And it's like, if I'm opening 100 packs for you, I'm going to pull a gold foil legendary. And I have never pulled a gold foil legendary before, so I want that gold foil legendary. And I'm not expecting you to give it to me, but I want to make sure that we're arranging in front that I am going to have a way to get it from you. And so I did. I worked that out, and so I picked up, and it's hilarious because out of my only 2 gold foil legendaries, Adelaide and River Hellendale, the 2 resurrectors from the set. Like, how is that's crazy to me. And no, I did not pull Adelaide. I bought her because after I got Wraith and started playing Wraith, I was like, oh yeah, Adelaide is just broken. I need a level 2 Adelaide. And then I was trying to, work out trades to pick up 2 more copies of her because I only had 1. And then it was like, you know what? Forget it. I'm just gonna go ahead and buy it, buy the gold. So that's how I got my first gold foil legendary, and then traded into River Hellendale as well. And so now I've got both of them, and I'm not at all upset by that. Okay, that is no longer correct. Let's go ahead and... No, actually, I need that for Jim. Yeah, I got nothing that I can actually put in right now. And man, these card prices are so ridiculously cheap. That is crazy. Let me see, actually. Maybe I can get this to work now. $16.70.
Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? Can I trust you? Can I trust you? Can I trust you? Can I trust you? What's this?
Mic check 1 2. Okay, that mic is working. Why is my regular mic not working? All right, well, I don't know why my regular mic is not working. Sorry about that. What's good, Boo Tops? I was not muted. I don't know why my regular mic is not working, but whatever. Have a good night, Pa. And they better not be broken. That's a brand new mic. I got that for my birthday last month. All right, refresh that list. And owned cards. Select all. No, it was like it's been plugged in. I've been streaming for almost an hour and a half now, and it was working fine earlier. I did change screens, but that shouldn't have. Well, I changed screens to one that doesn't actually have. Wait.
Can you hear me? This is Axler. I joined your Discord channel. We cannot hear you, but I'm hearing myself.
Can you hear me now? Okay, let's go here. We can give roll. File. Okay, what the heck? Where is my volume? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
You'll hear me through your Discord.
Yeah, I've been hearing you. Can you hear me now? What the heck is going on here? It looks like, I mean, it's reading
Yes,
my...
I can hear you in the live stream.
Okay, it's also reading my mic on Discord, so I don't know why that's not working there. Man, this is very strange. Alright, let me just switch the mic on both of these. We'll just go with the computer's mic. Alright, can you hear me on stream?
Yes, I still hear you on stream.
Okay, and then output device, no, input device. There we go. And can you hear me on Discord now?
Don't know about Discord because I'm listening to the stream.
Oh, okay. That's just weird. I've never had that weird out on me like that before. But I mean,
Let me
whatever.
go ahead and try switching to Discord as the primary audio.
That'll work. It'll be disconnected from the stream by the little bit of delay, but it makes the conversation easier. Thank you for your help, Bootops. Appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know what was going on there. Alright, now these guys, actually including this one, I'm going to
Let's see. Output.
to delegate on mountain. I'll accept you. We're going to go ahead and rent.
Okay, I can hear you now through Discord. You still hear me?
Yes, I can. Excellent.
Okay, that does make conversation a lot easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, don't know what is going on with my actual mic, but it appears to be having some issues again. Like, it's had issues before, but not like that. Just, that was weird. It was looking like it was working. It was reading on OBS and on Discord, but just not sending anything through. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I will figure it out somehow. Get some technical support from Fifine or Fifine or whatever the heck their brand name is after the stream is over. But yeah, just picked up a bunch of max level reward rares because they're ridiculously cheap. Got all of them for under $2 a pop. Like, not complaining about that at all.
Awesome. If you want, I'm going to try to share my screen with you. I figured I'd use this as a test to, because I want to do some more collaboration with other streamers as well.
Okay.
And I'll show you what I'm working on Baron's toolbox piece here, just for something to test.
Sounds great. I can watch your stream, but I don't have it set up to where I can actually stream your stream. Maybe I can
Right.
figure that out real quick.
Yeah, I figure if you watch my shared screen and make it full screen on the same monitor that you're streaming from, it might work.
Yeah, I have a window capture, so...
Oh, you're
it
doing
does-
window capture.
Yeah, but I can just add in a...
Yep, I got you.
Display cap. Okay. Okay. Discord. Full screen. And then there's a way that I can actually like make just yours full screen, right?
I believe so.
Hi,
Let's
there
see.
we go. Alrighty, so yes, we are now watching you. I see Axler Twin Blade up in the top right, so yes.
All right. Okay, so I just figured I want to do some more collabs with other streamers as well, and you were looking for something to do, so I'll show you the Baron's Toolbox little update I'm working on this toolbar up here.
Yeah, I love your toolbar, and I need to definitely get better with it because I know you've done a lot of updates since like I first installed it and whatnot, and I've seen you messing with it every once in a while when I'm lurking and too busy to actually hop in chat, pay attention to it and whatnot. But I've been wanting to have you on also so that we could, you know, kind of dive into it and get some more information about it out there because I don't think there's anyone currently in the audience that doesn't know, but if there is, Axler makes awesome tools that kind of overlay right on your window while you're playing Splinterlands, and also has a bunch of tools that are excellent for those of us who are creating content. All of the nifty little custom card frames that you see and everything like that, that all comes from him. So thank you so much for everything that you do, Axler.
Well, thank you. So yeah, I'll just give a quick rundown of what's in here right now. So all these little status items up here, everything is clickable to some extent except the ECR one. And so they're just quick links and basically quick inventory references, because I always got tired of like, how many merits do I have? You always had to go digging around for the store just to find out how many merits you have. Well, now with these being clickable, you can just click there and it will take you straight to these things. So, you know, straight to the merit store. If you want to buy potions, it'll take you straight there. So it's just a quick, basically it's a new menu or new UI for Splinterlands.
Yeah,
then,
it's
of
great.
course-
I use the staked SPS portion of it all the time. Like that's probably the number one feature that I use is, you know, just from wherever I go straight to SPS. But yeah, the fact that every bit of it is clickable is also super helpful. And I love that the guild is just like a drop down overlay.
Yep, and I do plan to do more with this. It's just I jump around so much doing different little pieces here and there. So yeah, and then like with lands, if you have plots and you're waiting for a certain plot that you want to claim, finding the next available plots is actually really difficult through the game interface. So these go straight there to the land, and the only way to see these numbers of what the next available one is that you have to come in here and actually hit claim, and then finally you can see them right here.
They
If
were
you can
actually
read
on
them.
that last screen as well at the bottom right corner. But yeah, no, it is good to have a quick reference right up top because, you know, if you're like, I don't own a plot anymore, but like I was waiting to claim in 49 or somewhere around there because
Right.
there's one that's right on a big old mountain. It's like I want to claim late in that region just so that, you know, I've got the best chance of getting a mountain plot.
Yep. So those parts are there, and I'm definitely working on expanding in all different areas. But the piece I'm working on right now, something that one of the viewers on the stream had mentioned to me that they would like to see, and so it's actually a really good idea that I've wanted the game to do for a long time. So the hard part is for me coding this piece. I'm doing stuff in the battle screen. and so I have to constantly do fights just to see the code I need to affect. And
Oh,
so,
yeah, that sounds rough.
yeah. um, so in here, when you go to here, this should quickly stand out as to what I'm working at.
Yeah, I see that ability menu up there. That's beautiful.
So I'm killing off the headers, or the heading text above all of these to save vertical space. And in doing so, obviously it's now misaligned all their stuff underneath them. But I wanted to be able to add in my filter bar, and here, so right now it doesn't filter, but I just am trying to get that initial display, and it has that weird jumping behavior going on right now that I gotta squish. If you're just at the wrong spot, it'll flicker like mad. So
Yeah, I see that. That would definitely be annoying over a protracted period of play.
yeah. So this is currently what I'm actually working on. Is I'm going to make it so these filters will basically override, so you don't have to come up here and type these things in.
Yeah, I love that. It makes life so much easier.
So yeah, that's the piece I've been working on, and right now, it seems like things shouldn't be so difficult, but because I have to come in and alter the game after it's already drawn its interface, it just makes it 12 times harder to do typically what would be pretty quick. But once I get this in, I really like it because it will tell you the description of them right here. So if you're looking for an ability, you'll have the descriptions showing up.
Yeah, that's going to be
Instead of having
super
to
helpful
sit
for
there and
new
bounce
players,
over
especially.
And so that's what I'm working on right now. Hopefully, I can get that cleaned up and out the door here in a day or two. But yeah, so that's the fun piece I'm working on. Oh, we got 14, 22. Let's see, I should probably pick a team. And turn off my...
And so you'll just click on the same one again to turn off the filter?
Yep, it's toggle on and off. I'll surrender it. It's a toggle on or off. Oh, actually, right now, yeah. I do have that ability in there for toggling off as well. So all I have to do is just trigger the filter itself. I've got my display in, and I had to reduce the size of everything because I know they're introducing 3 new abilities real soon.
Yep.
In January, so I'm trying to keep it to no more than 2 rows. And so what's your thought on just the size of everything? Did you think that size that you saw was decent?
Yeah, well, obviously, I mean, anyone playing on mobile is probably, and that's going to be part of the toolbox that you've already got up top, right? Like, it's not...
Correct.
Okay, so, and I imagine people that are playing on mobile are probably not going to have that extension installed, because I feel like it could be problematic on mobile, but mobile's already got enough problems, so, like, that's...
Yeah, this is definitely, unfortunately, I can't really affect the mobile version. Now, if they were playing on a cell phone through the web browser on the website, then they might be able to install it, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, because your screen's already too small for that. Because when I started, I was mobile only for the first 7 months of my career, and it was terrible. But as far as for the website and for most players who are playing on a computer, I feel like that's awesome. It's definitely going to make life a little easier. For those of us who are already experienced, it's going to make life a lot easier for new players coming in that don't know all of the abilities yet.
Right. No, and that's what I was hoping for is, I've always wondered why they don't show you visibly, the description of these abilities. Yes, those of us that have played for a while, it's like second nature. But that's really the biggest learning curve that people need to do when they start the game is don't worry about winning. Just worry about memorizing and learning all those abilities and what they do.
I actually had someone hop in my stream on here on SPLtv Monday morning who was literally in the tutorial, brand new player, and he was like, "What's the first step for me?" And I was like, "All right, Splinter cards, abilities, like the first thing you need to do is familiarize yourself with this. There's a lot here, and you don't need to memorize all of it, but you need to at least be able to start recognizing, like, that is the first thing that you need to do in order to start understanding how to actually play the game. Is you need to know what the abilities are, you need to know what the rule sets are, and you need to know them on site, because you don't have time in Team Select to be looking anything up. So this tool, yeah, absolutely a game changer for someone coming in who is still learning the abilities, to have that, easily accessible. Oh, what is this one again? Okay, let me hover over it and get a real quick reminder. And like, not even having to actually filter by it, but as they're going through team selection, they see an ability they don't remember on a card, they can just hover over it and get the reminder of what that ability is. That's huge. And then for those of us who are more experienced, or for those who have large collections, like, sometimes searching through and finding the right card can be difficult if you're sifting through a lot. So yeah, having the ability to more quickly filter by abilities is definitely also going to be a great boon to people.
Yeah, I mean, it for the longest time I didn't even know that the abilities were even listed on the website. In my opinion, it's kind of hidden.
Yeah.
Now, maybe not for a new person, but for me, it was like, you know,
Honestly,
you,
yeah, that
if you
screen
just,
you were just on, I've never even seen that. I imagine it's part of the FAQ or something like that. Like, I'm sure I could find it, but I didn't know it was there.
yep, it's under battle, and it's their how to play. This is their new player experience where they try to teach you the basics, but again, it's not out in front enough. So
Yeah.
what I'm actually looking at doing is taking that same sort of circle display. I'm going to add a button up here on this bar where, like the guild page, you'll click on it, and so like the guild page, you'll click on it, it'll scroll out, and I will show you a list of all the abilities and what they do, so you can look at that when you're not in a fight.
Nice.
And then on top of that, the other one I wanted was, we're getting more and more actual rule sets in the fights.
Yep.
And there's no good screen that shows you a list of all the rule sets.
No, I actually spent literally, like, I knew that there was a page in the FAQ that listed all of the rule sets, and I literally, on that stream, I spent like half an hour looking for it, because I knew it was there, but I couldn't remember what subsection it was under or anything like that. And, I was trying to show him exactly what the rule sets are and whatnot. Like, we walked through all the abilities, and then that was the next step for me, was like showing him. And you've probably seen him, because he's been around on Splinterlands TV quite a bit since then. Prime Rogue was his name.
Yes, actually, I added him to our guild.
Oh, cool. There you go. Carry the zero. Yep.
The zero. I sent him, like, I don't know, about 8 cards or something like that, 2 epics and a bunch of rares, to kind of help fill out his Chaos Legion deck.
Yeah, I delegated him a
Because
bunch of stuff as well.
I love to support people that want to play, want to learn. It's like, well, I happen to have a spot in my guild anyway, so it's like, yeah, I'll throw you in my guild, and so yeah, he's getting started, and I like seeing people come into our Splinterlands TV and ask those questions. To the veterans, it's like, it's one guy I had asked me, what's the difference between DEC, SPS, and credits? In the game interface, there's nothing that really describes the differences.
Right, but that's a great question too. Like, it shows you're paying attention and you want to understand things. Like, yeah. That's awesome.
So yeah, I'm looking at trying to add a couple of buttons. Again, all of these will be stuff that will show up in here as well. So if you don't want to see them, you can turn them off. Once you become familiar enough, you won't need those little helpers. But initially, that's what I'm trying to make. Is I'm trying to make more and more tools that help gameplay, versus everyone else is focused on the tokens. And it's like, you know what? I just want to have more enjoyment playing the game.
I'm gonna switch over and see if I can, because I just saw what you had there. How do I pull that up? Like the color changing and whatnot, the thing that you just had for adjusting the
Yep.
toolbar.
So pin that icon to the toolbar. Yep. So click the little pin next to Baron's toolbox. In
Oh,
that
wow.
icon- Now just click on the icon.
I have orange bar now.
There you go. Now, if I just picked a smattering of colors. It's not a secret, but there is a black on black. So the far right side after the dark gray, there is a black box you can reselect if you want it. So, I just picked a random set of colors. So people, some people's eyes don't care for the colors I like. So I figure, you know what? Here's kind of a smattering of the rainbow.
Yeah, like Jim actually likes day mode, whatever, what is wrong with him. I mean, I like him, but I don't get that.
So yeah, that's where that's at. That's an options page that I set up. And as I add more things, I'm going to try to add settings in there so that way you can turn them on, you can turn them off. And the color takes effect right away. The actual other settings don't take effect until the page has to reload. So that can be as you're navigating around the site, or if you just hit refresh, it will automatically reload with the things that you turned off will disappear.
Yep, I see that now. That's awesome.
And a lot of that is for the sole purpose of how can I say? I want to add more and more tools to this bar, but I don't want to waste more and more space. So I wanted it to be something where you can decide what items are important to you.
Yeah, like that's greatly appreciated, because like I really don't need to keep track of my potions like that. Like I don't open nearly enough packs for that to be something I need to keep active track of. But as far as ECR, the guild, and the actual tokens and whatnot, that's more important. So yeah, I still love the tool, and yeah, it being customizable like that now, like that's very helpful. And like I knew that was something that you'd been working on, but again, like the only time that I'd actually been in there and really able to pay attention was when you first unveiled it. And so I've been using just the very basic and loving it, and now the added functionality is like, that's awesome. How you doing, Walk the Grid? Welcome, Daemons.
Damon, you are correct. Better than sliced bread. That's how I like to advertise it when I'm streaming. I always tell everybody, you have to get it. It's better than sliced bread.
Yeah, I definitely appreciated him throwing the link out there before I even had a chance to try and copy and paste it myself.
So yeah, no, I mean, and then just kind of on the side note here of doing collaboration videos, just doing this through Discord actually is kind of nice. I'm going to have to work more and try to start doing more and invite people on the stream as well.
Yeah, I need to get more familiar with like how to do the video sharing through like the VDO and whatnot. I've been working on that and whatnot, but yeah, I mean, as far as just voice and a quick down and dirty, yeah, Discord works great, and I really like having it like this, where I've just I've got my own personal Discord server, and then there's a voice chat within that. That way, like, if somebody else wanted to join in, I can just invite them and they can join, rather than having, the one-on-one call and then trying to add someone to that is a lot more involved. and then requires me actually leaving what I'm doing with the stream and then adjusting that and whatnot. Whereas
Right.
with this, it's just go ahead, hop in, join, and we can pick up the conversation right there.
Yep. Hop on in, state your name, and then get going.
Exactly. And I mean, I've been very interested in, I would love to get, whether it's Splinterlands TV or whether it's my own personal channel, I want to get a regular thing going where we get, at least 4 to 5 people in there and, have a bunch of varied viewpoints that are, all kind of focused discussion on the same thing. And I mean, my original idea is like 12 or whatnot. I feel like that would be a little bit difficult to manage that conversation. But I mean, I want to get more voices at the same time on the same topic so that we get a strong, discussion from every kind of side of the issue. And so, I mean, anytime that you would be available for that, give me a holler and let me know. I would love to have you.
Yeah, no, I think that'd be great. And again, I'm just going to go ahead here and show another battle so people that may have just walked into the crowd here can see. This is not live in the Baron's Toolbox tool yet, but this is the piece that's taking up my free time here in the evening. So when you start a battle, it doesn't matter what this screen says, but on this screen, I'm hiding the titles above all these boxes here because I figure most of these are pretty self-explanatory. People know what regular and gold is. They know what the numbers are for and the attacks. So I'm doing that to save vertical space. And then in here, I'm adding the abilities, but as visible icons. People can find things so much quicker as visible icons. So at a quick glance, you can look for opportunity. You can click on it. So right now I just have this functionality built in where you click on it, it will show you the description, but it will not actually trigger the filtering yet. Right now I'm working on just layout. And once I get the layout in, tying it in to actually do the filtering, that will be pretty quick. But these are currently only one at a time, and I think I'm going to keep it that way. It'd be too difficult because the game interface doesn't let you pick multiple. It'd be too difficult for me to try to force that.
Honestly, I feel like that would actually make it more difficult to use anyways, because that means you have to click off. That was like, I was just about to ask. So if you've got, heal already selected and then you click on something else, is it going to be filtering by both or is it going to change the filter? And I think changing the filter is better because, I mean, how often do you honestly have to double filter? Like, if what you are looking for has opportunity and self-resurrect, well, you can just click on opportunity, and you're not going to have enough monsters with opportunity that you honestly have to filter it again. You can still find your Rooney in that screen very easily.
Yep, very true.
And if
so,
it is
yeah,
that
right now, these will automatically unselect the previous. So if you're on poison and you hit dodge, it would automatically unset poison and set it to the dodge.
I would suggest having the last one, like adding on one more circle at the end that is a clear, just for people who don't automatically assume, oh, I can click the one that I've got selected to unselect. If you have an option to clear, might make it a little bit easier. And then the other question I was going to ask is, how does it look if you were to zoom in or zoom out on the actual browser itself? Like just Control
right
plus,
now,
Control minus.
Zooming on the browser, stuff fits, but I'm sure there's going to be layout issues. So like here, it's going to get to a point where there's just not enough horizontal space. So zooming is definitely an option, but when you get onto that battle screen, I'm not sure.
Well, I'm just asking because, like, it is actually pretty practical to zoom out a little bit, especially for the battle screen, because that way you can see more cards with less scrolling.
Well,
and I would imagine that would actually, from the way I was seeing the guild drop down, that kind of grew and shrunk with it. And I don't know how difficult it would be, but if like your toolbar stayed the same size, and then like as you zoom out, like it, like the
Well, let me kind of show you this here. So let me do this. So right now, not that. Let's see. I don't want to remove it. I just want to turn it off for now. Okay. Let me. So this is back to the normal UI. If you look at the items here, so this is the normal size of the cards.
Yep.
So now if I go back in here and I turn this back on, I just want to show a lot of people don't realize some of the things I do. On your inventory and market, I already reduced the size of the cards because of that exact reason. I want more showing. I could easily apply that same thing to the battle screen when you're picking your team. I just didn't know if I should do that.
I mean, I think it would actually be very helpful and make it, more usable. Because I mean, some people again aren't aware of how easy it is to actually zoom in, zoom out, and whatnot. But if you could affect the size of the cards without affecting the size of the rest of the screen, that I feel like would definitely be very useful.
Yeah, and that's what I'm doing here. Now, I purposely also affect the size of these bars just because I like to save vertical space because I make websites all day long. And so trying to save that vertical space is why I like to reduce the size of some things. But specifically when it came to the cards, I just wanted to see a whole bunch more on the screen, and I felt the size I chose is the size I like. Now, it'd be rather hard for me to go through and make the size of the card something like you could go and pick and set in the settings. Picking the size would be difficult, but I could probably allow you to say on or off, zoom the cards out, yes or no type of thing.
Okay. But yeah, like I feel like this size that you're currently displaying here for the collection, that size in the battle screen would also be very helpful. Like that's a great size, and I feel like they are a little bit too large in the battle screen. So I do play zoomed out fairly often. So
Okay.
like that is perfect. That's kind of, you and I are on the exact same page there. I just didn't actually realize that you were already doing that on those pages. It's kind of funny that, and that's actually exactly the size that I use, because like normally like it's 7 cards per row, and yeah, I like 11 cards per row. That's exactly like where I would normally kind of take it. So
Okay, Damon, you're asking, let's see, by placing the cursor on the rarity of the label. Oh, over here. I know what he's talking about. Yeah. The pop-ups that you see here, this is because I forced Splinterland's display to be smaller than it should be. And so these pop-ups are misaligned. I haven't realigned the pop-ups. And so that's why you're seeing that pop-up jump over to the far right side. That's where it would be if I didn't zoom or didn't change the size of these buttons. So that's kind of a bug I introduced. I'll call it a feature.
Yeah, no, this is awesome. I love to see the work that you're doing. We are just about running out of time. We got a minute and some change left. Is there anything else that you would like to get out there? Go ahead and drop your socials and whatnot, so anyone who might be listening knows how to find you.
Actually, my socials really is just the Discord. I'm in there all the time, and then in Splinterlands TV here. So, eventually, I'll get my YouTube channel and actually put content on it and all that. But for now, they can just catch us here on Splinterlands TV. And yeah, thanks for having me on.
My pleasure.
Gave me
Thanks
an
for joining.
opportunity to toy with this as well, so I can start having and working with other people on my streams.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And for the rest of y'all, thank you so much for joining. As always, I have been Rick. You've been on the mountain, and it has been a wonderful time. We got After Sound coming up next. He's going to have an hour, and he's probably not going to be Papa Baron all over us because all of a sudden he's a lot more bullish. And he's probably a lot happier about DECB passing than I am. He voted for it, so we'll see what he's got to say. And in the meanwhile, thank you so much for joining. And I will be on again in about 4 hours on my personal channel at Rick on the Mountain. YouTube also at Rick on the Mountain. Also will be live there at the same time. And in the meanwhile, keep being awesome because you rock. Thank you
Thanks
once again
for having me, and thanks everybody for listening in as well.
Take it away, After Sound.